energy gets conveyed to the body, percolates to the body from the mind through the channel of breath. Now, this is something we can feel very easily, very conveniently. Apart from that, there are other channels, there are other meridians, other set of pathways of energy within our body that make this energy flow, that store this energy, and these are also the areas where energy can collect and become stagnant, can start creating disease from those points. So these channels are deep inside, like they are. You cannot physically dissect the body and find these energy channels because they're not physical in nature; they're metaphysical in nature. So these seers that I'm talking about, yogis that I'm talking about, the perceivers of these remote methods, perceivers of these remote methods of healing, perceived these channels, these energy channels. In our philosophy of yoga, or even in many modalities of energy healing like Reiki, pranic healing, these pathways are called chakras. So there are points in the body which vibrate according to the energy which is being fed into the body. They are connected, to the entire cosmos, to the energy of the entire cosmos, and to the energy that you are, by the way of your thought process, by the way of your experiences, by the way of your memory, and by the way of your individual personality, are feeding to them. So in Indian philosophy, we had this concept of chakras. Also, concept of 72,000 nadis. Nadis are again these energy pathways that you can't see, through which this energy travels and where it collects. So in Ayurveda you have marma points. These marma points are nothing. These are points which collect the energy which is being relayed in the body. And in the Chinese system, again developed by meditators, traditional Chinese system of acupuncture, which is very, very potent, very, very therapeutic, and very, very beneficial for pain management. They plotted 14 channels, 14 meridians, that are there in the body, through which this energy travels and through which you can influence the physical body. So this whole thing, it might sound complicated, but we did find a person, who actually expired just about a decade ago, Dr. Park who actually made this this whole thing, which looks really big, this concept of energy and meridians and channels, made it really, really tiny. Just like everything is becoming smaller now, from the computer to the phone to the SIM card, everything's becoming like smaller. So he made this whole system really concise. And of course, he meditated, he thought about it. And what he did was, he looked at his hand one day, and he wondered why his hand looked the way it did. I want to ask you, have any of you wondered why your hand looks the way it does? Why is it, that you have a palm like this, and then you have a thumb, and then you have 4 fingers, and then the fingers have 3 joints, while your thumb has just 2 joints. Why is it that your hand looks the way it does? So this person wondered, and he found a likeness between your entire body and your hand and feet. His name is Dr. Park Jae-woo, founder of Sujok Acupressure. Su means hands and Jok means feet. So He found the entire body in your hand, and I'll explain how. So, look at think about your torso. You have five projections coming out of your torso. You have your head, you have these arms, you have, two legs, and one, two, three, four, five. And your arms have three joints, the shoulder, the elbow, and the wrist. So your finger has one, two, three joints. Similarly, your legs have three joints, the hip, the knee, and the ankle. And these fingers, all the fingers, the four limbs that I'm talking about, have three joints each. Okay? Now, if you look at your hand, these two fingers, the middle finger and the ring finger, they are longer than your index finger and your little finger. They're longer, just like your legs are longer than your arms. And if you look at it this way and imagine yourself tilted to the side, you would understand how the side to which you're tilted, that arm will become longer and the one which is sort of on the opposite side will become shorter. And coming to your thumb. So your head and your neck, these are two joints. Like there's a one here from where your head moves and the other one from where your neck moves. So you have two joints here. So, and this is your torso right there. So you have an entire system plotted right here in your hand. So I'll try to put on a picture for you to see, to make it a little more clear how you can find your entire body in your hand. So can we have the picture? I think that should be clear. So, if you can see, there's a thumb, this portion right here, your face, your neck, and then here there's the lifeline, this one portion like the diaphragm. So your lungs are here. Then these are your arms, your index finger and your little finger. And the middle finger and the ring finger are your legs. And here in the middle, you have your organs, abdominal organs. Similarly, on the back side, you have an entire spine there. If you can see, towards the right side of the picture. So you have a spine, your cervical spine, part of your thoracic spine, and just like, your lumbar spine comes and ends here with the tailbone. So a likeness is this, I think this should be clear. Right there. And like I just said this, so if this is so I'm just going to demonstrate this at the same time and make it a little dark so that you can see it clearly. So if this portion, if this is your spine and you happen to suffer from a pain in your lower back, you can actually just apply pressure here. In the middle, there are these two bones, you'll have your knuckles, you have these two bones, and right here in the middle, this is your lower back, your lower spine. So if you have a pain, you can actually apply pressure, even with the backside of a pen. I prefer to use an acupressure tool, but even with the backside of a pen, you can apply pressure here and, move forward, backward, in and around. It's better to keep the hand stable on something, have a leverage so that the pressure is not wasted. And apply some pressure here. And then if that pain radiates to the leg, then maybe a little bit on the side. So just forward, backward, round and round. And you'd be surprised how quickly that pain would go away, or at least be alleviated to a good degree, to some extent, to quite an extent, appreciable extent, I should say. Similarly, if you have a pain in the neck, you know, here's your face, here's your neck, and then the back side, that's your neck. You can probably just apply some pressure there. Just around this whole area. Maybe you can just use your own hand to do that. So you have your entire body, in your hands. And I'll put another picture for you so that you can, also see how the body is placed on the feet as well. Similar picture where you can see the hand and the feet simultaneously. Just give me a moment there. And so this picture is not coming on. There it is. So there you go. Whole body in your hands, in your feet. Literally, health in your hands, if I could say. So, what you can do for yourself is, when you hold your hands together, just feel the potential, the body systems right there for you. And to access them, just tap them a bit, apply a little pressure and see if you can access them. In fact, in our culture, even we grew up like that. So we had the literally, like, one can call it a tradition of not rubbing but pressing the feet of your grandparents or parents when they went to bed. So what you did was you actually, for some time, pressed their feet. And when you did that for a while, it made them feel better. I'm sure like a lot of you would have experienced it whenever you go for a foot massage or a pedicure or even a manicure, you come back feeling really, really good. You feel, lighter, better, the muscles are more relaxed. So there was a tradition where the younger people in the family would go and press the feet of the elders, especially at bedtime. And this itself was a great healer. Not only did it stimulate all these points, so you can imagine, if you can stimulate some of these points on the hands and the feet, it'll make the muscles more relaxed. It'll put the body in a state of ease. It'll make you feel so much better. So the elders, when their feet were being pressed, not only did they feel better, they could sleep better, they felt cared for. They felt a sense of wellness, well-being. And the way you feel actually determines whether or not you will heal. So that's pretty much what I have to say at this point in time. Feel better, heal better, be well, and take care.